Hello everyone, it's Half for Jojo. Today I'm doing something different on my channel. I'm going to do like a long form video. I'm going to be reacting to some like what I eat in a day and some fat acceptance stuff and things like that and tell you my opinions on it. Now, anyone featured in this video, obviously don't go out and harass them and be annoying to them because that ain't right. Gonna try and keep it a bit helpful rather than completely judgmental and stuff like that. You know, I'm gonna offer my opinions and what I think is a better alternative to what they're eating and things like that personally. So I've been watching a lot of videos like this on YouTube recently. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers who make like reaction videos to people who are eating like insane portion sizes and stuff like that and what eating a days and things like that and offering like alternatives of what you should do instead. I thought I'd try my hand at it as someone who used to be fat and has lost a lot of weight, and I thought I could give some advice to some people out there who might be struggling, and maybe through this we can all kind of learn something or whatever. But anyway, without any further ado, I've got a video lined up here. I haven't watched it yet, so it's gonna be a live reaction, so we're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. So let's get started, and we're gonna go and react to this one here, which I've got here. Again, don't be a dick to anyone. Okay, don't go on people's channel and harass them. Let's just watch this and see what's going on. Okay, so we have our video up here. Again, I haven't watched this, so let's see what it's about.
What I eat in a day as a fat girl. For breakfast, I had a Costco hot dog with every...
Sorry, I know I said, obviously I'm not gonna be too overly judgmental, but I've got to say, a hot dog for breakfast is kind of wild, not gonna lie, like, that's kind of crazy. Personally, I would, prefer things like, you could have meats and stuff for breakfast, obviously, but I'd personally prefer, something quite filling, say something like egg on toast or something like that, and some salad underneath it or something. Or one of my personal favorites at the moment is just like a big bowl of like Skio yogurt and some fruit. It's like 400 calories at the most in there. It ain't too bad, and it gives you a lot of energy and stuff like that for the morning. I personally think that you shouldn't be eating this for breakfast. I'm not gonna be one of those people who's like, oh, don't eat hot dogs ever, don't eat food like that ever in your life or you're gonna die. No, it's fine to have it occasionally, just like for breakfast it's a little bit wild, not gonna lie to you. But let's keep going on. I've already delayed enough, eh?
everything on it. Ketchup, mustard, relish, and onions.
Damn, it does look good though, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you, it looks pretty
For
good.
lunch, I had some chicken taco soup that I made that turned out really fire.
Okay, looks like I'm just gonna have to go back and see what we've got in there. So we've got some cheese, some beans, some sour cream, some rice. I don't know. Oh, it says chicken right there. Some chicken as well. I think that's sour cream in the middle. Now this ain't too bad. This ain't too bad. The highest calorie thing on there is probably going to be the cheese and the sour cream. Like if it's like lower calorie sour cream and lower calorie cheese, then that's not too bad at all. That's actually quite a good. I think she said it was lunch, right? Like, it's probably got a decent amount of protein. It's got a good amount of carbs, and it probably tastes good. And it's not like a too big of a portion from what I can see. It's
Taco soup that I made that turned out really fire.
Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That's probably quite reasonable. Right.
Having some Takis and Italian herb sub from Walmart.
I mean, I do like a tacky, I'm not gonna lie to you. But that's a lot of calories right there. First of all, that bread's probably like 300 calories as it is. The things aside it probably ain't too bad. You know, the meat and the cheese or whatever is probably only like 200 calories at most, if anything like that. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's in it. Did she say what meat was in it?
Takis and Italian herb sub from Walmart.
No, I don't know. I don't know what meat's in it. I don't know if it's like salami or something like that, then it's probably a bit high calorie. It looks like there's some cheese in there. Don't know what kind of cheese. Probably some sort of Italian cheese, let's be honest. The cheese itself's probably not awful. I know a lot of salami and stuff would be really high calorie, and the bread, of course, the bread's like probably 300 calories as it is, and the takis as well. Like 100 grams of that will set you back like 500 calories or something like that. I don't know how much is in there, but it looks like quite a lot. So that's probably like a good 700-800 calorie, I reckon, lunch right there. Yeah. I thought the previous thing was lunch. No, is this just a snack, or was the bowl just a snack? Because the bowl looked like a good, reasonable lunch to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I used to eat like this myself, so I'm a bit like seeing myself through this. I'm a bit like, damn. Like, you kind of realize how crazy like your portions were back in the day. Like, I kind of look at myself and I'm like, damn, what was I eating, man? Because honestly, again, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to hate on people. I'm just being honest, and I'm trying to suggest better alternatives and stuff like that. Like, for example, like I said, that previous taco bowl or whatever it was, again, that seemed like a good lunch to me, and this is like completely unnecessary if I'm being honest. Okay, it does look good though, I don't gonna lie to you. Damn, okay. Yeah, that adds more calories to it, of course, even if it's a lower calorie. I see it says there, I can't read that exactly, 50 calories, is that per tablespoon? That's like 30 grams, 60 calories even. 30 grams, 60 calories. Yeah, I don't think that's the low fat one. Actually, it could be, but I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna say. Oh, but Jojo, but half of Jojo, Mister, and not everyone's trying to lose weight. You fucking bigot or whatever. And I'm like, I do know that, but I do think genuinely being overweight is not a good thing, right? I think that's pretty standard to say that. I'm not gonna hate on anyone for being overweight. I'm not gonna think you're less of a person because you're overweight, but let's be honest, being overweight is not good. It's not good for your health and everything like that. So I do want to stress that I am not hating on you if you're overweight. It doesn't matter to me that you're overweight. I won't think of you as less of a person, but I do want you to be healthier. I do want you to live a longer life, and I want you to be able to do things that you can't do when you're overweight, things like that, because Lord knows I've struggled with my weight my whole life, stuff like that. I've really had problems with it, and growing up, I wasn't able to do a lot of the things that other kids were able to do, and stuff like that. I know it's miserable. Like, we're being honest, being overweight is miserable, and I know a lot of people go like, I'm fat and I'm happy, but I don't know if I agree. I think a lot of fat people say they're happy, like with the way they are, but I don't think they are, because you can't really do much, again, physically and things like that. It's a lot of a burden to even go for walks and stuff like that. When I was fat, I could barely walk up the stairs without being out of breath. I'd be out of breath just sitting here talking, stuff like that.
And Alani Sherbet Swirl, which is one of my favorite flavors.
Is that sugar free? Let's have a look. I can't see.
Swirl, which is one of my favorite flavors.
No, I can't see if that's sugar free or not. Another thing I suggest for people, caffeinated drinks and things like that, like sodas and fizzy drinks, things like that, or whatever. That's completely fine, as long as you are doing like the sugar-free stuff, because if you're drinking like Dr. Pepper, Coke, things like that, but the full sugar versions, it can really stack up the calories, and you are just basically putting on the weight. Because some people who are overweight, they might not even eat that much. They might eat reasonable sized portions or whatever, but then they buy like full fat Cokes, stuff like that, and they're downing those every couple hours or every few minutes, and then they end up gaining all that weight because they're drinking so much sugary drinks that are like 1 to 200 calories per like small can or per cup or something like that. So you're downing a whole like liter, 2 liter bottle of Coke a day, and you know that's a good like 500 calories or something at least right there. I'm pretty sure, if not more than that. So definitely, I would say it's completely fine to have sodas and stuff like that. Preferably you should be drinking water, but Lord knows I don't drink water all the time either, to be honest. But if you are going to drink sodas, drink the sugar-free versions. They are so much better for you, and you don't get like the sugar crash and things like that. Especially if you're like consuming energy drinks. You know, sometimes when you go gym stuff, for example, you drink like a Monster, even if it's early morning. If it's like really sugary, you get like the sugar spike to your head and then you crash immediately. Whereas, you know, still caffeine crashes and stuff like that, but it's not as bad because you haven't got the caffeine crash plus the sugar crash going on. You've only got like one going on, which is better than two, you know. but yeah, definitely sugar-free drinks is the way to go. Even if you are not, even if you're one of those people who are like, oh, I'm not trying to lose weight or whatever, you should definitely still sugar-free drinks because it's so pointless drinking calories, honestly, guys.
Then I had a couple of these Albanese gummy bears. They have a zero sugar version that's really good.
Okay, I don't know what the calories are on them. I don't know what those sugar-free ones are. I'm going to look that up quickly, actually. Okay, I found the calorie information here. So how much is that? So that is 60 calories, 3 servings. So a serving is 9 pieces. So per 9 pieces is 60 calories. It's not god awful, to be fair. It's not absolutely god awful, but still, it's almost like not even worth consuming at all. Like, if I'm being honest, like personally, I wouldn't even bother eating them because it's like, so you get 9 little tiny gummy bears for 60 calories. That's not a lot, but at the same time, it's the same calories as like 1 medium egg, pretty much. Like a medium egg's like 63, 66 calories or something like that. So you might as well just have an egg at that point. Plus you're getting your protein in and stuff like that, and it's got a lot of nutrients in it. So they're not god awful. If you want to snack on like some sweet stuff, say if you're going out to the cinema or something, you want some sweets, you know, stuff like that would be a good alternative. I'm not gonna lie to you, but to eat like on a daily basis, probably a little bit pointless if I'm being honest, but that's not bad at all. That's quite good actually. But anyway, let's get back into it.
Zero sugar version that's really good.
I'm having an oatmeal cream pie.
Damn, how much? How many cookies? And the whole thing.
Because I'm a hydrated queen, I refill my water cup 5 times.
I mean, I don't know how many biscuits you were having there, or cookies, whatever they were. They look like Oreos, basically. I don't know. We don't have those where I am, so I don't really know what they are, but they look a bit Oreo-ish. Yeah, preferably you should be eating biscuits and stuff if you're trying to lose weight, and drinking like a whole 250ml kind of bottle of milk as well. Again, depends on the kind of milk. If you're drinking skim milk, then that's probably not too bad. But if it's like the full fat milk, then that's probably like a good 300 calories or something, I reckon. I don't know. I've never had the full fat milk like ever in my life, if I'm being honest. I've only really had semi-skimmed or skimmed because like I find it a bit pointless. Even at my biggest, I find it a bit pointless having the full fat milk, if I'm being honest. I know it's creamier, I know it tastes better to some people, but I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need my milk to be that sweet and that creamy or whatever. It's not that important to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I don't really care. But yeah, that is probably not a good idea if you're trying to lose weight. I know, oh no, everyone's trying to lose weight or whatever people are going to add in the comments, but yeah, you should probably be careful of how many how many biscuits you're eating, especially because they look like they were chunky little biscuits, so they'll probably run you back at least 100 calories per biscuit, at least. And that's being generous, because like a little digestive, like for international viewers, you might not have digestives. They're basically like, I guess in the United States they're going to be like graham crackers or whatever. You know, like those dry biscuits. They're probably like a good 79 calories, 70 something calories from what I remember per biscuit. So that shit's probably over 150 at least for one of those. But anyway, let's continue.
You should probably stop being a dehydrated hoe and go do the same.
We're at the end of the video. I mean, it's good that you're getting your water in, 100%. So that was just one video. I'm probably gonna go through more in a minute. But yeah, man. There were some good things in there. You know, I'm trying to be nice. I'm not trying to judge people and be too much of a dick. Like I said, there were some good things in there, like that taco bowl thingy looked really good. You know, the 0-calorie gummies, although I said they're a bit pointless to eat on a daily basis, so it was true, but at least they're the lower calorie, sugar-free versions. And, you know, getting your water in as well. Water is really important, especially if you're like me and you're on creatine, gotta stay hydrated, things like that. But 100%, a lot of that in there is not ideal. You know, eating hot dogs and stuff for breakfast, all those cookies, and the big ass sub with the Takis and everything like that. Yeah, it could be better, but there are some good things in there. I mean, if I'm being honest, depending on how big you are when you start out, you can kind of get away with eating a little bit shit and still lose weight. Like when I first started losing weight, I was 150 kilograms, some give or take, and I could eat around 3,500-ish calories and still lose weight at the time, which is a lot. I'm pretty much like half of that now. Well, I eat like 2,000 calories to 1,700 calories ish. I kind of changed it up a little bit. I'm eating a little bit more recently because I'm starting to do a bit more cardio on my days off, so I don't need to eat as less. Like I said, you can kind of get away with it when you're a bit bigger. You can get away with eating a bit more shit and still lose weight. You know, you can get away with eating slices of cake and stuff like that and still lose weight. But to eat a lot of it is probably not ideal still, obviously. But yeah, video 1, some good things in there, but a lot of things aren't completely ideal. I'm going to look for another one and hopefully see if there's any improvement here. Alright, so this one here caught my eye. What I eat in a day as a Mexican girl. Okay, if there's gonna be any like Mexican themed food in here, yeah, I mean Mexican food is banging, man. The thing is, a lot of it's like too good to a point where you just want to eat all of it, and a lot of it could be quite high calorie depending on what you eat. Like I said earlier, with that taco bowl, that's quite low calorie, quite decent, but a lot of Mexican food can be ridiculously overwhelming with the amount of calories it has in it, right? So you have like, you know, even things like quesadillas, you have your nachos and things like that, very high calorie. But let's have a look and see what's going on here. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Starting off your day at 8 PM. Is this gonna go till like early morning or something? I mean, I don't know if that is just the noodles itself, like all that sauce comes in the noodle packet itself, but they're probably not the best things to eat really, like those instant ramen packages. I understand obviously if you ain't got a lot of money and you're in a struggle, you know, they're alright to get you through the day. They're relatively fulfilling, but they can be quite high calorie, and a lot of them could be misleading on the package. So you read it and it's like, oh, per 100 grams 79 calories or whatever, but that's like not the whole pack. The pack says 100 grams on it, but when it says per 100 grams, that means like when it's cooked. So once you added the sauce, once you've what's it, like boiled noodles or whatever the hell, once everything's all put together, that's when it's 100 grams, it's 79 calories. That's when you find out that your noodles are actually like 5, 6, 700 grams, and you've just overeaten by like a good 100 calories or whatever. But I see there's boiled eggs in there as well. Boiled eggs, again, eggs are like really, really good for you. They're amazing. Can't go wrong with some eggs. There's like they look like 3 halves, so there's about 1.5 eggs in there. That's quite good. That's a good amount of protein, not too high calorie. It's probably like about 100 calories worth of egg, or just under. Quite good. Chipotle, okay. Again, Chipotle, depending on what you get in it, it can be quite healthy. There's a lot of lettuce there, but if you get a lot of sauce and things like that with it, you get a lot of sour cream, guacamole, and things like that, then that is going to add up to the calories. But if you just get like a lot of meat, a lot of lettuce, and some rice, then that's quite healthy actually. It's quite a good like salad bowl, and can easily be like 500-600 calories, which ain't too bad for a meal. But to have, hold up, that's like a whole day after, isn't it? So this previous one was at 8 p.m. and this is at 3 p.m. So that's like the next day, isn't it? I thought it was what I eat in a day. I don't know, that was an error. I don't know if she meant like 8 a.m. But I don't know. Those are good. Tacos de carnitas. Okay, so tacos are meat basically, right? I think. I don't know what kind of meat you got in there, but it's like what I'm saying. A lot of like tortillas and that, they can rack up calories quite high. And these ones, they look a bit like they've been fried or something to me. They look a bit crispy, so I don't know. But yeah, they can really kind of rack up the calories. They taste really, really good though, honestly. Oh, that's dripping. Shit. Okay, so she left half of it or whatever for the next few hours or whatever. Next day by the looks of it. 8 a.m. So it was the next day. Yeah. What was that? Was she not? Is that? I don't think that was part of the Chipotle, was it? I think that was also part of the taco thingy she had. Yeah, that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of sauce and stuff by the looks of it as well. In the Chipotle, probably quite a lot of guacamole and things like that in there. And also that as well, you know, obviously that adds to it. If you just had the bowl itself and you didn't have a lot of dips, like I said, it'd be quite good calories and stuff like that. But having the kind of taco thingy with it as well, plus there's probably a lot of guacamole and stuff in there that really adds up the calories. Chinese food. I don't know what kind of Chinese that is. Don't know what kind of meat that is. Depending on what kind of sauce that's like marinated in or whatever, that could be really, really quite high. I don't know. That's probably pork or something. I think pork's generally one of the higher calorie meats as is. Plus the kind of marinade on it's probably quite a lot as well. And there's a lot of meat there as well. That's a lot of cows. And spring rolls, yeah, this is crazy. Or egg rolls even, I guess. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever actually had an egg roll before. I've had spring rolls, I had pancake rolls. I've had like duck spring rolls, chicken spring rolls, vegetable spring rolls. Never had an egg roll. It's not really a thing over here. Even if you go to like Chinese takeaway shops and stuff like that, I don't think they really have egg rolls on the menu from what I know. But yeah, this is a lot of calories. I don't know if there's any rice on there as well. If there is rice, then that's primo calories right there. Let's have a look. That looks good to be fair. again. Damn, okay. Alright. Strawberries, okay. Strawberries are great. Really low calories. You can have like basically a whole box of strawberries and it'll probably be like 100 calories, let's be honest. You have like a whole kilogram of strawberries and it'll probably be less than 200 calories. Yeah, fruit's great. You should eat more fruit. I started eating more fruit recently. But however, I do advise you don't be one of those people who are like, oh, I ate some fruit, so that offsets all the shit that I ate for the rest of the day, because obviously it doesn't, first of all. But yeah, basically, eat more fruit, eat strawberries. Strawberries are great. They're quite low calorie. You can add it to anything, you can add it to yogurts and stuff like that. Like I said, they are absolutely brilliant. And let's get on with this video then. Like a cheese string kind of thing. I used to love those when I was younger. You know, probably not awful. Again, it's probably a bit like pointless. You're probably better off just buying like a block of cheese and just cutting off like a little tiny piece of it and eating it, if I'm being honest. Probably less calories in it. It's probably like the same amount of money as well. But yeah. Out of everything I've seen so far, I'm not gonna hate on the string cheese. That's probably like the least egregious thing in this video so far. Oh, apart from the strawberries. Okay. So that one wasn't great. Okay, you know, there was some eggs in the noodles, which is great. You know, some protein in. But those noodles are probably ridiculously high calorie as it was. What else was there? The Chipotle bowl. It could be good depending on what it is. I couldn't quite tell what was in there, but it looked like there might have been quite a lot of guacamole or something at the bottom of it from when I saw the leftover part of it. Plus, you had the taco canita things. Yeah, those tacos, like tortillas, they could be really, really high calorie. You know, you're talking like 100 calories just for the wrap, and then everything inside it's probably over 200-300 calories and stuff like that. And then, you know, with the leftover Chipotle, she had some more of those taco or tortilla type things, which really, like, again, really racks it up. More noodles again. Noodles quite high. The eggs are great. The strawberries, fantastic. Eating strawberries is amazing. You should eat more fruit. Everyone should eat more fruit. It's brilliant. It's good for you, and it's really low calorie, and you can eat a lot of it and not have to worry about putting on weight and stuff like that. But the Chinese food as well. The Chinese food, it looked like there was pork in there. I couldn't see if there was any rice or anything. I didn't know if it was just meat and egg rolls, but there was a lot of meat there, and it looked like it was marinated in some sort of sauce that's probably quite high calorie, and it looked like pork, which pork is sort of naturally quite high calorie as it is. And then the egg rolls, of course, the egg rolls are probably quite high calories because they're all fried and stuff like that. But again, I've never had them, so I don't know what they taste like. You have to tell me if they're any good or not. But yeah, this ain't that good so far. Again, I suggest eating like higher satiating meals. You can have like basically your Chipotle bowl. You can have a little teeny tiny bit of like a guacamole or something on it, as long as you've got primarily lean meat, primarily lettuce and a little bit of rice, a little teeny tiny bit of like guacamole or salsa or whatever, then it will be quite healthy. It'll be reasonably the calories will be reasonable. You know, you'll be talking about 500-600 calories rather than 800-900 kind of thing. Generally, I'd try and stay away from like instant noodles and things like that as much as you can, because again, quite high calories and not the greatest for you in terms of they're quite high calories. They're not the greatest thing to eat. They can be misleading as well, like I said in the package. Some people get fooled by it. I've been fooled by it. They say, 79 calories per 100 grams, but 100 grams is like just the dry weight, and it doesn't account for when you cook it and add the sauce and everything like that to it or whatever. You know, if you want like a noodle dish, definitely I recommend cooking your own noodles. Get like a little egg noodle nest or something, cook that bad boy up, put a little bit of like you know, whatever sauce you want to use in it, a reasonable amount of course. You know, cook yourself some lean meat with it, cook yourself some chicken with it or something, maybe dash a little bit of egg on the side. You know, you can easily make it more reasonable, and it's not too hard to cook. It might take a little bit longer, but it's not awful. It's not like a whole day's worth of drudging in the kitchen. You know, you can make an easy kind of stir fry in probably about 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say on that one so far. Probably gonna look at one more and then probably end the video. Okay, I found another one that caught my eye, so I'm gonna get this up for you here. What I eat in a day as a fat person who's not interested in weight loss. Now, hear me out. I know a lot of people are going to say, again, I mentioned it earlier, well, not everyone's trying to lose weight. I would argue that everyone should try and be a good, reasonable, healthy weight because it impacts your life in so many ways. I'm not being funny, but especially if you have kids and stuff like that, you want to be there as much for them as possible. You don't want to diet like 40, things like that. And a lot of people are going to say, being fat doesn't necessarily mean you're unhealthy, but you can look at your blood works as much as you want, and as much as it might say, oh yeah, you're fine, everything else that's going on inside will be rubbish. You know, your blood works could be fine, but your lungs might be 2 minutes away from collapsing because you've got obesity-induced asthma and things like that. You're so at higher risk for things like diabetes, strokes, things like that. Everything that can go wrong. Basically, obesity can make it way worse, if not actively promote that thing to come out and fuck you over, if you get what I mean. But anyway, let's continue with the video.
What I eat in a day as a fat person who's not interested in weight loss.
Okay.
Treat Yourself Day Edition.
Treat Yourself Day Edition. Now, I would argue, again, that if you are an obese person, then you are pretty much treating yourself every day as is. You know, you're eating larger portions or you're eating unhealthier foods and stuff like that. You know, I would argue that personally, but hey-ho.
First of all, TF is that a kiwi.
Kiwi? Just a single kiwi? Okay, not awful.
Starbucks.
Okay, iced peach green tea. And now, I know a lot of Starbucks drinks have like ridiculously high sugar content and stuff in them. You know, like an iced tea ain't too bad if it's like sugar free. You know, if that was sugar free, that'll probably be like 20 calories or something like that. But I reckon that's probably got loads of sugar in it. I know a lot of Starbucks drinks are really ridiculously sugarified.
It's green tea.
If that's even a word.
Water.
Yep, water, get your water in. Water's good, drink more water, okay.
Chicken nugs.
Chicken nuggets?
Waffles.
Okay. I would preferably, obviously, prefer to eat like whole chicken, like chicken breast or something like that. You know, eating some fries or chips or whatever ain't too bad depending on what they are. If they're like ridiculously oiled up, you know, freezer fries and stuff like that, probably really greasy. But if you make your own kind of fries and just stick them in the oven with a little bit of like 1 calorie cooking spray or whatever, then you can get some pretty good chips and fries for low calorie and stuff like that.
Fries.
Okay.
Dip.
And the sauces, of course, they're like kind of McDonald's sauces or something. Yeah, those add a lot of calories as well. Mind your sauces, guys, and if you have sauces, try and have like the lower calorie versions.
I will not speak the name of the Forbidden Chicken restaurant, but
Forbidden Chicken restaurant. Oh, I can't remember what it was, but there was that one that donated to charities or whatever that were like anti-gay or some shit, if I remember correctly. I think that might be the one.
I will admit that I made a donation to GLAAD afterward. Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard.
What's that? Is that like a peanut butter ice cream or something? Yeah, ice cream's diabolical. But one good thing I found as an alternative, if you have a Lidl in your country, try and have a look out for high protein ice cream in the freezer section. it is 290 calories, which is still quite a decent amount, but 290 calories for the whole thing, the whole pot, and it's 20 grams of protein, so that's absolutely brilliant for the whole thing. Amazing, you know, that's literally like a quarter of what you get in like a Ben and Jerry's tub basically, and more protein in it as well. The chocolate flavor anyway. I think there's like a toffee caramel or something, and a peanut butter one. Those ones are like 300-400 calories, which is still better, but the chocolate one's 290, way lower calories, and again, high protein. Okay.
More iced tea.
Is that the same iced tea or a new one? Again, like I said, really sugary Starbucks drinks.
More water.
Well, what was good?
Ribs, carrots, and potatoes.
Ribs, carrots, potato salad. Okay. So I do think potato salads, you know, they can be quite high as well. And the ribs, obviously, depending what you put on the ribs, they're probably ridiculously high. Like, I do love myself a good rib though. The carrots are good, you know, can't go wrong with a bit of carrots or whatever. But the potato salad's probably quite high calorie potato salad, and the ribs, again, probably marinated in all sorts of sugar, and high calorie sauce and honey and stuff like that, you know.
Potato salad. Water plus vitamins.
It's good.
A little fruit punch.
Fruit punch, I don't know what's in it. I can't say I've really had it. Probably have at one point, but again, it's probably like the iced tea situation. Probably really a lot of sugar in it. But you know what?
I buy BB. What?
That one wasn't god awful, right? It wasn't as bad as some of the other ones, I think. But there's still some changes in it. Like I said, like obviously having more chicken breast rather than like chicken nuggets, and obviously having potato chips, or not potato chips, fries or chips is fine as long as they're not ridiculously fried or like frozen, stuff like that, where you can get quite high calorie. But if you have like oven baked ones where you just put a little bit of like 1 calorie cooking oil in it, whatever, then you can get some pretty decent oven chips. Or air fry them, you know. Yeah, again, like I said, with the ice cream as well. Ice cream is really ridiculously high calorie. Even if it's only a small pot, it can still run you back like 200-300 calories at minimum. And like I said, you can go to Lidl, get a big pot of ice cream, bottle that big, 290 calories for the whole thing. It's obviously not going to be as good as like a Ben and Jerry's ice cream, obviously, but it's still really quite nice. And if you fancy a bit of ice cream, it goes down a treat, high protein, stuff like that. And you know, another thing in regards to like potato salads and things like that, a lot of people hear the word salad and you automatically think healthy, low calorie, but that's not necessarily true, because a lot of salad you get can be absolutely packed full of calories. Like if you go for a chicken Caesar salad, a lot of times it's absolutely drizzled in sauce, a fuck ton of croutons and stuff like that in it. And it can be higher calorie than just a regular meal because of how much sauce and stuff there is on it. But like I said, this one wasn't god awful. This one's probably better than a lot of the other ones I've seen so far, but there are still some changes in there which can add it up, which can make for a better, healthier lifestyle and stuff like that. But obviously, that's just my opinion. It's what I think. So I think that's about it for everything I've got today. I just wanted to wrap it up by saying a couple thoughts here and there. I do think, obviously, leading a healthier lifestyle, everyone should strive for. I think being overweight, I don't think this is controversial to say at all, but for some reason it seems to be, being overweight is not good for anyone. It's not good for you, it's not good for the people around you. It's a detriment in a lot of ways, but it doesn't make you any less of a person if you are overweight. I do generally recommend everyone stop eating ultra processed foods all the time and go for more whole foods, more whole meals, stuff like that. However, I'm not the type of person who's going to say you can't treat yourself, you can't have this, you can't have that ever again, you're not allowed to eat a pizza again, you're not allowed to have an ice cream. Of course you can have those as long as you're balanced, as long as everything is in a balanced meal. You can eat whatever you want as long as you are balancing it out and you're living a generally healthy lifestyle and you're a good weight and things like that. Like I said, when I first started losing weight, because I was so big, I could eat any old shit. So sometimes when you see some overweight people who are trying to lose weight and are eating like ice cream and stuff like that, you can forgive it a little bit because a lot of them are quite big, so they can get away with eating high calorie foods and things like that. But however, eating it all the time, every single day, it's not a good idea. You know, every here and there, it's fine. Again, this is a new thing for me. This is a new format, and it's something that I've quite enjoyed doing so far. I'm not gonna lie. If there's anything you want to add, anything you want to discuss or talk about, then please do it down below. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment and everything. Even if you want to call me an ex-smoker, but for fat people, and that's fine. But yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this. It's something new, something fresh. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if there's anyone or anything you particularly want me to cover. You can send me the video or whatever, and we'll see if I'll talk about it. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you're eating right. Get loads of sleep. Lord knows I don't get enough sleep, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite on that, but try and get loads of sleep. Stay safe and everything like that, and hopefully you've had a good day, and hopefully people are liking the new format and long form videos I'm going to be putting out. Alright, thank you very much, and I'll see you lot later.